Hey my beautiful Virgo peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome in here to your yearly tarot reading for the year of 2024. How are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Do want to mention as always before we start, if you're interested in a personal read, check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It's going to be the first link in the description below if you want to book me there. Nonetheless though, Team Virgo, we're going to hop on into it. We're going to start out here first and foremost with the Oracle, and we're going to go over your three major themes for the year of 2024. Following after that, we got a whole bunch of stuff to look into for you guys. So sit back, relax, and let's hop on into it. We're going to start out here first and foremost with the three major themes for our lovely and amazing Virgo coming in to 2024. What are going to be the three major themes for zodiac signs of Virgo? Any placement, honestly, is totally fine. Regarding their 2024. Starting out here with our first major theme, what do we have? And we have here giving and receiving. This card is always so reminiscent of the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is what you give is what you get. So definitely feeling a really good vibe there. Hopping on into your next major theme, we have here simply love, and looking at your final, I almost said your finer. I guess maybe it's your finer theme. We have here embrace. Hell yeah, I like that. So for the final theme, embrace coming out here for you at this time. There could be something happening on June 21st on the summer solstice. Okay, so that's really powerful. Interestingly enough, we saw that 6/21, so it could be the 21st of June. Something very spectacular could be happening to you. Also, sixth house energy could be greatly affected here this year, so something to keep in mind. Pay close attention here to your sixth house. Either way though, let's get into it and see what we got going on. So we're going to go from theme to theme. I'm also going to give you guys expansion cards, which are basically just clarifying cards to give extra information for each theme that we walk through. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out here with giving and receiving. Now, like I mentioned previously, this is very reminiscent of the Six of Pentacles in the tarot. What you give is what you get this year. So that's a very important theme. How much are you willing to put in so that you can also get the same in terms of reception? Now, whether we're talking about work, love, friendships, any kind of relationships as a whole, what you put in is what you get back, but you want to make sure that you're not overextending. I think that the theme of this year is I want to get what I deserve for 2024. Maybe in prior years, previous years, etc., you found that you've been a bit of an over giver. Maybe you've constantly overextended your energy towards people, towards work situations, and that's tough too, right? Because there's some companies that people will work for, unfortunately, where you'll put in more work and more effort, and you'll overextend and extend and extend, yet they won't, compensate you for that, nor give you a pat on the back, right? So that could be tough as well. But I think the main factor here for this major theme is we want to make sure we're getting back exactly what we're putting in. So something to be mindful of for sure all throughout 2024. We don't want to be breadcrumbed first and foremost, and we don't want to overextend our energies, especially if we're not getting that same energy back in return. So let's go ahead and get our expansion cards out, and we'll see what's going on here with this first theme. So what do we have here for the first theme for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiac throughout the year of 2024. First card coming in is going to be the King of Pentacles. Taking a look here at the next card, we have here the Three of Cups, and for the final card, we have here the Three of Cups coming out as well. Some of you might be confused. You're like, why the hell did two Three of Cups just come out? Funnily enough, they came out in a row, so I like that. Anyhow, though, this tarot deck does have duplicates of certain cards, so it's cool that we got that card twice. Now, first and foremost, King of Pentacles coming into play. King of Pentacles is all about a person who is grounded, cool, calm, and collected. It's an individual who's already in the energy of abundance, right? So for somebody who's abundant, they're not manifesting lack, they're manifesting more abundance. This means that a person knows exactly what they're worth. King of Pentacles knows his value, he knows his worth, so he knows what he should be getting in return for his work, okay? So I think that that's the energy that you're being very called to step into here this year, which many of you are going to start to do. You know, maybe if you're a person who has your own business, maybe you're an artist, maybe in the past you've undervalued your work, maybe you didn't price your work the way that you deserve to, and at the end of the day, maybe you're starting to shift your prices this year. You know what? I know my painting is worth X amount of money, I've been charging less in the past, I'm going to make sure I charge exactly what my value of my artwork is. You know, it's stuff like that that you're really going to start to notice here coming into 2024. Hello, we're leaving that year behind. Coming into 2024, this is stuff you're going to notice. So it's all about making that shift. I know my value and worth. I'm going to make sure I get equated to that. Having a look here at the Three of Cups, you got both of them coming out twice. So this automatically is telling me you're going to be happy and joyful here when you're getting what you actually deserve. And you're making sure you hold yourself accountable here to get what you're worthy and deserving of. You're not letting yourself get taken advantage of in 2024. You're not letting yourself get breadcrumbed. You're making sure, here's my value, putting my value out on the table. Either you're going to give me an equal amount of value back, or I'm not going to be doing business with you, connecting with you, etc. So you are really staying on top of this here for 2024. So that's a major theme we're seeing coming in here first and foremost. For your following major theme, your second one, we have here simply love. I love this card because I think that at the end of the day, when we think about the highest vibration we experience in this 3D reality, the highest feeling and vibration is love. And love is incredibly powerful, and love is also incredibly potent. And I think that you're starting to get back to the roots where it's like, I simply need to love. I need to focus on what I love, who I love, and where I love to be in my life each and every single day. So you're kind of getting back to the core of love, because the highest and purest form of vibration is indeed love. So this year is about really focusing on those types of things. Who do I love? I want to spend more time with them. What do I love to do? I'm going to spend more time doing that. Where do I love to be? I'm going to go hang out over there. 2024 here says it is a time to simply just love and to really embrace that beautiful vibration. And not only is it going to put you on a high vibrational timeline, but when we can really tap into the energy of love, we're getting the best and the most out of our life experience rather than being in lower vibrational energies. So this year, I think you're getting back to the root of love, doing what you love, being where you love, hanging out and spending time with who you love. It is definitely a wonderful time. Let's go ahead and get our expansion cards and talk about it, okay? So let's expand here on theme number 2, which is simply love for Virgos 2024. Let's take a look. We have here the Page of Wands. We have here the Seven of Cups. And lastly, we have here the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune coming out as awesome sauce. So let's talk about it. First things first, Page of Wands coming into play for you. This is a card that typically represents your interests, your fascinations, what intrigues you in life. This is what sets your soul on fire, what puts you into a place where you feel passionate. So love and passion can really go hand in hand. Passion's a little different than love, but at the end of the day, I think what you're being directed to this year is to go to where you feel like you are passionate about someone or something, and also inevitably passions turn into love too. For people who are passionate about the work they do, you can assume also they love the work they do. For people who are passionate about a lover, you can assume they love that lover, right? So passion and love can definitely go hand in hand, and I think a lot of you here are being called to make that your focus this year. Maybe in prior years you were around people that you just weren't necessarily happy with. You were working a job you hated, you were having a daily regimen of life that you weren't fulfilled with. Maybe you felt like you weren't in control. And that's a little tough and difficult, right? When it feels like life is passing you by and life is happening to you, it's a tough thing because you no longer feel like you're in the driver's seat of your life. I think that getting back into the core of love this year is what's going to make you realize that you also have control of where you decide to put your energy, right? If you can choose to love, if you can choose to be with people you love, if you can choose to do what you love, you start to embody and remember that you have a choice in this life. A lot of people kind of let life pass them by. And they're like, welp, my job sucks, but they do nothing about it to get a job they love anyhow. They're like, well, my relationship sucks, but they don't dump the person, right? They stay stuck on stupid. So this is the energy here, Virgo, where it's like you're at a point in time here moving into 2024 where I need to start really taking a look at my focus and start directing that towards love. Now, for the following card we have here, the following expansion card, we have here the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups here, Virgo says that there could be lots of things this year that you love and would love to do. And I want to say this to you, don't be afraid to go do it. If you would love to have an experience, have that experience this year. If you would love to go hang out with somebody, go hang out with somebody. If you would love to start a business, start that business. It doesn't matter if you would love to do multiple things or 20 different things this year, whatever your goal set may be, whatever it is you would love to do or whatever it is you would love in general, don't hesitate to reach out. Definitely give it your full force, go for it, and have fun, is what I would say here in terms of advice. Looking at your last expansion card, you have here the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune says that at the end of the day, by living your life through love, you're going to get to your end game. Now, what does that mean? Working a job you love could end up being your end game job, the job that you have for life. Finding the people that you love hanging out with could be about you finding this year the friends for life. So essentially, following love is going to lead you to the end game friends, the end game work, the end game relationship, right? So when we start following through with love and we start embodying that vibration and we start allowing ourselves to align with love, we're going to find exactly where we want to be in life and where we feel is our end game to be in life as well. So 2024 is powerful in that retrospect. Many of you could be finding, your dream partners this year. Many of you here could be finding your dream job this year, your best friends for life or mates for life. This can be a very, very powerful time so long as you allow yourself to align with the energy of love. Okay? That's something I want to say here for sure. Now, looking at our final major theme for 2024, we have here embrace. Embrace is a fantastic card. A lot of people are very fearful to embrace certain things though. You'll see people embrace pride. You'll see people embrace happiness. But there's a lot of people who are fearful to embrace sadness, to embrace anxiety, to embrace depression. When it gets to lower vibrational energies, people are fearful to embrace them because they think that by embracing them, they are pretty much reinforcing that these energies are here to stay. The truth is though, guys, is that by not embracing lower vibrational energy, you're actually delaying yourself the ability to heal. If you watched my channel maybe a couple times, or maybe you're a veteran and you've watched my channel for almost the past 6 years, you would have heard me say a bajillion times that feeling is healing. And that's 110% true. If we avoid what it is we feel and we don't embrace the feeling and bring it to the surface, it's going to stay dormant within us. And then it's going to come up again at a later date. And if we push it back down inside, you're going to be dealing with energies within you that are never going to be healed. That's why it is so incredibly important to say, all right, I'm not feeling good about this situation, but instead of pretending it doesn't matter or pretending it doesn't bother me, I'm willing here to embrace the fact that I'm upset. Now, when you do that, what happens? The feeling comes to the surface. It's not beneath you anymore. It's not buried inside of you anymore. It's at the surface level where you can understand how you feel. You can embrace how you feel. You can feel how you feel. And throughout the process of feeling your feelings, inevitably, your body knows exactly what to do to release it, to let it go, to process it, and for you to be able to move on and move forward. So this is going to be a time this year where sure, we're going to have many feelings and emotions that we're going to embrace that are going to be incredibly powerful, positive, and awesome. But there's also going to be some shitty things that happen. Maybe something happens between you and a friend and you just got to embrace that you're upset at a friend. Or maybe you're, not so happy with where you are in life and you have to just embrace that, hey, it's okay. I'm not happy where I am at life right now, but I'm working towards creating a better one, right? So being in the energy of embracing is what's going to lead you to the overall good stuff. However, though, if we don't embrace where we're at ever, and if we kind of just choose to ignore it or anything of that nature, we actually remain stuck in that energy for so much longer when if we were to embrace it, we could release it, okay? All right, let's get into your expansion set and see what we got showing up, okay? What do we have here for this final major theme for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Let's get some expansion cards. We have here the Eight of Swords. We have here the Temperance, 100%, and we have here the Three of Pentacles. Here's the thing that happens to a lot of people when they don't embrace what they're dealing with or how they feel. They become trapped inside their head. They become enslaved to their own mind and their negative thoughts, and it's a very difficult situation to escape. Sharing a little bit of personal detail with you guys from my own personal life when I was younger, I had a hard time embracing the feelings of not being enough. So I would constantly push that away. I had a void within me. I never felt like I was enough when I was a child and when I was older, right? Before the age of 17, essentially, I didn't feel valuable. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel enough. I didn't feel like I had anything to offer the world. So I was in a very low vibrational space for a long time. But it was until I decided to say, you know what? I'm going to embrace that I feel this way, but recognize that if I feel this way, then maybe it's time to do something to make me feel valuable. That's what I needed to do for myself. I needed to embrace that I felt the way I felt, but I needed to also make a change. What would make me feel like I was enough? How can I learn to be enough with myself? And how can I learn to feel that and harness that energy? If I would have just kept ignoring how I felt, I would have never healed or fixed anything. So I needed to get out of my head, right? Because I would constantly think all the time, I'm not enough, I'm not valuable. Then one day something in me kind of just snapped and I was like, why am I not valuable? Why am I not enough? And I realized a couple things that day. What I realized first and foremost is the validity of the answers I gave myself as to why I wasn't enough was so stupid. I thought, oh, well, I'm not enough because maybe I don't have enough money to offer. or I'm not enough because I don't drive a cool car, you know? They were very, very dumb surface level reasons that I let myself get stuck inside my head about, and basically told myself that I was worthless, which was so far beyond the truth. So when I realized how dumb that sounded, not only did I start to see more of my value, but when I started to have valid points, because there will be valid points sometimes, I had some sort of validity to certain things where I didn't feel valuable. And then I said to myself, okay, let me embrace the fact that I don't feel valuable because I'm not bringing this to the table. However, though, let me fucking change that. Let me focus on what I could do to make myself feel valuable. So then I thought to myself, what do I need to do? Instead of being stuck inside my head, I started thinking ahead. I started thinking, what would my best version of myself be if I was a valuable person? And I started thinking of that energy. I started thinking of that version of myself. And then guess what? I put everything into motion and I embodied that energy of the future version of myself I wanted to be. And I embraced this new version of who I wanted to become. And my entire life changed. Point blank, period. So you want to get out of your head. And you want to start thinking ahead, right? You want to heal with a Temperance card and go within and have a conversation with yourself and ask, how valid are these claims that I make about myself? So if we're embracing some of the lower vibrational stuff, let's say we're embracing an insecurity, how valid is that insecurity? How valid is, something you've been telling yourself, and maybe you're a person who's been putting yourself down for a long time about something. How valid is that? 9 times out of 10, you're going to realize that the validity, or more so the reasonings as to why you've told yourself that you're not enough or you're not this or you're not that, are really, really bullshit claims that you've made to yourself, but you've trapped yourself inside your head and forced yourself to believe this. So a lot of Virgos this year in 2024 are going to come to terms, I've been keeping myself trapped. I've been telling myself that I'm not enough or I don't have value. I've been not choosing to embrace lower vibrational situations because they hurt me so bad. But now that I'm embracing them, I'm starting to see at the end of the day, none of that's true. And even to the things that have some truth to them, all I have to do is embrace that it's okay that I'm not where I want to be in life, but maybe now I could start working towards where I want to be, right? Because I'm not ignoring the fact that I'm unhappy anymore. I'm acknowledging it, and then I'm doing something about it. Boom, 3 of Pentacles. Going out there and doing something about the things that don't make you happy. So how fucking powerful, by the way, was this last major theme? Super powerful. I loved having this talk with you guys because I loved actually reminiscing there for a moment. I think that the example I provided could have been really valuable for you guys, but I think that's a really powerful thing to talk about. So shout out to you guys really unlocking this coming into 2024, because this is going to be a massive, massive win for all of you. Okay? All right, Team Virgo. I love it. So that is your 3 major themes here so far for the year of 2024. We're going to be getting into the next portion of the reading, which is going to be the roses of the year. And what roses are essentially are going to be the highs of the year. It's going to be all the good stuff that you can expect happening here in 2024. Following the roses, we'll touch base with the thorns, which will be the lows of the year. Some of the things you want to watch out for, some of the things you want to avoid. What's good about the thorns, though, is while you guys are getting this information ahead of time, you can look at what you want to avoid and then avoid it, Now, one second here, Team Virgo. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, guys. But what I was mentioning with the thorns, the one good thing about it is that you can avoid it. I always say with tarot is 100% avoidable. So as long as you're getting this information ahead of time, if you see yourself slipping into that path that you don't want to be a part of, you can change your course, So anyhow, let's get into it. We're going to start here with your roses of the year for 2024. So let's see what roses are coming in here for you, Team Virgo. What's going to be going on for Virgo, baby? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the year of 2024. What is going to be the first rose coming in here for our beautiful Virgo gang? What's going to be their first high of the year? Starting out with our first rose, we have here the 3 of Swords paired with the Chariot. Ooh, baby. Releasing pain, keeping it popping, pushing and moving forward. You're at a point in time, guys, where you're separating yourself from things that have hurt you, things that have dragged you down, things that have been very painful events. You're actually starting to heal from those, and you're starting to move into a place where you're becoming much more lighter. If you've been dealing with incredibly heavy energies, these heavy energies aren't around anymore as you are becoming much more of a lighter person, much much more of a high vibing person. So I think you can expect here one of the massive highs of the year is going through a lot of like the hard stuff and moving forward from it, right? Releasing a lot of the pain you've dealt with, a lot of the pain that you've had throughout your life, whether this is over the past couple of years or whether this was over just the course of 2023. It's going to be a time where you're letting go of a lot. And some people may think, how is that a high of the year? It's a high of the year because you're not dragging yourself anymore with weight on your shoulders. It's like you can walk without having a 200-pound dumbbell behind you, right? You have this light appearance, this light feeling, this light energy, and it's so significantly different than when you were feeling like you were drowning. This is not the energy of sinking anymore. You've learned to swim. Okay, that's what we can experience here in 2024. That's what I'm feeling is the high of the year. So we're going to get into it now with our expansion cards, and we're going to do 2 sets of expansion cards. So let's get into that and see what we got here for this first rose. Okay, so what's coming up with this first rose here for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the year of 2024. We have here the Strength card, wonderful, and that Strength card is going to be paired here with the Hangman. Taking a look here at our second expansion set, we have here the Three of Cups, and then that Three of Cups here will be paired with the Lovers. So let's go ahead here and talk about it. Team Virgo, like I mentioned, you are healing this year, and you are becoming massively lighter in comparison to some of the heaviness you've carried with you previously. Now, you have a Strength card here to a Hangman here. The Hangman card usually represents the energy of feeling stuck. So I think to a degree, some of you guys have had, traumas, situations, and things you've gone through, emotional residue that have really carried with you throughout the years. And I think what you're going to notice in 2024 is you're going to finally see just how strong you are with your ability to be able to overcome those things. You're going to be overcoming some of the things you never thought you would have moved on from. You're going to be overcoming things you never thought you would have ever let go of, okay? Now, remember in the last major theme we had, and I was talking to you guys about how this year it's going to be about embracing stuff, whether positive or even negative. This is about you guys recognizing I need to embrace the hurt and pain I went through in order to heal first and foremost. But besides all that, I need to recognize that this is the time to not carry that around anymore. So for the things you thought you would never move past, you're moving past them here in 2024. We have an Ace of Cups here. We also have here a Lovers. This is going to be a massive year, Virgo, for you in terms of self-love. I feel like you are reinventing the way that you look at yourself. You are reinventing the connection to self. Where maybe prior you didn't feel like you had self-love, I think in 2024 you're discovering that. Some of you might be discovering that again. Some of you may be discovering self-love for the very first time. And if that's the case, absolutely love that for you. Okay? So it's going to be a time this year where you're really reinventing your perception of self, and you are looking at your value, and you're seeing your worthiness, and you're seeing that you're a person who deserves to be loved and who deserves the best. And that goes back in almost to the themes in the beginning of the video, right? Where a lot of you are going to start to notice this year, you're focusing up on being your best self. You're focusing up here on making sure you get your best value, and you're recognizing that you have value to bring to the table. So any of the heaviness you had prior, I think, is not really carrying out into 2024, as a lot of you here are going to be doing a lot of healing work. But this healing work is also going to kind of prime you to love yourself even more and reinvent yourself in a way that's so powerful. I think the way you see yourself is going to change, and the connection you have to yourself is going to massively positively change for you throughout 2024. So what an awesome rose to experience. Absolutely love it, Virgo. Let's go ahead and hop on into your second rose for the year of 2024. Okay, so what's going to be the second rose coming in here for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the year of 2024. What's going to be the second rose coming on in here for our Virgo gang? Let's take a look. We got here the Ace of Cups, and that Ace of Cups here is going to be paired with the Wheel of Fortune. Guys, finding what you love this year. This is going back to simply love, right? So I love that the themes are tying in and we're seeing it play out here in real time. Really cool. So Ace of Cups showing up here. Love, Wheel of Fortune here, Endgame. I'm pretty sure I touched base with that too earlier. Some of you could be finding your ultimate lover in 2024, okay? Very, very spicy. Some of y'all could be finding your ultimate lover. Some of y'all could be finding your endgame job. Some of y'all are finding your best friends for life. But this is a time this year where your love is so powerful. And I think you're finally going to align with what you love the most. And you're going to see that really change and shift for you. You know, in prior years, if you felt that it was hard to find things you love, hard to find things that are enjoyable, hard to find good people, that is massively and drastically changing throughout 2024. So you're going to start to get to those end game moments, right? Well, that final chapter, being with the final person. Maybe this is going to be the lover that you end up marrying, having kids with, and you're with till death do us part. This could be the final job that you love to show up to each and every single day and that you want to work and have success with for the rest of your life. This could be the end game friends, but I think a lot of you are going to start to finally align with what you truly love here in 2024, and it's going to be very special. I think if it's not across multiple different areas of your life, there's going to be one specific area in your life this year that is so special to you. Like, especially, you know, I found my lover, I found my soulmate this year. That's so special to me. I found my dream job this year. That's so special to me. So it's going to be a special year, guys, for you to really align with something you love so much, that has tons of consistency, that has a future for you with the Wheel of Fortune, and that is end game for you as well. Okay? All right, guys, let's get into our expansion sets. Let's have a look at the first expansion here for Virgo. Let's expand on this second rose coming in. We have here the Star. Alignment, baby. We have here the Ace of Swords, true and total alignment, team Virgo. So like I mentioned to you already, you are aligning this year with what you love, but you're aligning with what you truly love, what's truly for you, what absolutely resonates with you at the core. Okay, so that's why this rose is so special for you this year. You're gonna be not only your true self and living your truth, but you're truly aligned with what's right for you. All right, so that's absolutely beautiful and fantastic. Let's have a look here at our next expansion set for Virgo. What's gonna be the next expansion set here? We have a Nine of Cups, self-fulfillment, and a Knight of Wands. Not only self-fulfillment in one moment, but self-fulfillment carrying out across these next 12 months. Okay, so I feel like you're not only just in for great moments this year, but it feels great all around throughout the entire year, guys. Whatever this is that you end up manifesting and aligning with, this is going to be great all year round. So if it's a partnership, you're going to be having a wonderful relationship all year round. If it's your dream job, you can't complain. You love going to work each and every single day. Same thing with friends, etc. So this second rose is very special for Virgo peeps. Very, very special. It is representative that you guys are finding exactly what you feel is a perfect fit for you in your life, and you have no complaints. Everything flows together perfectly. You're happy, and you can't wait to continue here going forward. Okay, so really love this, guys. Looking super duper good. All right, everybody. We're gonna hop on in now into your third and your final rose. So let's get into that. What's gonna be the final rose coming in here for Team Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout the year of 2024. What's going to be our final rose here for our Virgo gang? Let's take a look. We have here the Four of Swords, and that Four of Swords here is going to be paired with the Five of Wands. Oh yeah, this year in 2024, Virgo, I feel for you guys is going to be incredibly drama-free. You do not have time right now to resonate with conflict, to resonate with drama, to resonate with low vibrations. You are really leaving that shit behind in 2023, okay? So you're at a point in time this year where it's like, I am all about peace, tranquility, positivity, love, and I'm only allowing things that are worthy to be in my energetic space. So anything that's low vibrational, you're choosing to not let that in your space. All right? All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop into our expansion sets and see what shows up. For the first expansion set here for your third and your final rose, what do we got coming in here for Virgo? Throughout the year 2024, we have here the Fool card, and then we're going to go ahead and pair that Fool card here with the Page of Cups. I love it. Fool showing up for you, Virgo, is representative of I'm moving in a direction in my life right now where I exactly want to be. And then Page of Cups showing up here for you is always going to represent a positive emotion and a positive direction. So for 2024, you're at a point in time right now where I'm making sure I'm moving in a direction that's positive, that feels good, that's go, go, go. And if you're deciding to put that energy out there, remember, like I showed you earlier with that card that was reminiscent of the Six of Pentacles, what you give is what you get. What you put out is what you get back. So if you're choosing here to remain high vibrational and to make sure that every path you're walking on is a righteous path for yourself, what you're going to get in return is going to be that positivity, okay? So I really like this here, Team Virgo. I think that this is just reaffirming right now that I don't have room for this. I don't have room for conflict. I don't have room for unhappiness. I don't have room for drama. So wherever I take myself or whatever I choose to do with my energy, I want to make sure I'm putting out the best into the world so I know that I'm getting the best here back. All right, let's go ahead and get your final expansion set here for your last rose. What's going to be the final expansion set here for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the year of 2024. Let's go ahead and have a look. We have here the King of Swords, and then we're going to pair that King of Swords here with the Queen of Swords showing up as well. Yeah, King of Swords is about really kind of being strict here with yourself. I think that the strictness you're having in 2024 is you're being very strict on, I'm not engaging in anything at this time that's messing with my energy. I'm not engaging with people who aren't good for me or who aren't serving me. You're being incredibly analytical in the year of 2024 of who you're choosing to surround yourself with and what you're choosing to engage with. So that means you're not only necessarily analytical, you're in the energy of awareness. So awareness is going to be key for you throughout 2024. You know, is this work situation healthy for me? If not, maybe I should consider a different work situation. Are these relationships healthy for me? If not, maybe I should reconsider my relationships. So you're making sure that you are constantly scanning whether or not you're in a positive space or in a space that could be harmful, because we're trying to maximize what will be best for us versus what will be harmful for us. So whatever's harmful for us, we want to cast that to the side. Whatever's going to be the best for us, we want to pay close attention to that and give it all of our investment. So King of Swords here, staying aware, staying focused. Queen of Swords here, anything that isn't serving in my highest good, we're kicking it to the curb and we're moving forward, okay? All right, Team Virgo, those are going to be your three roses here showing up for 2024. They all look absolutely fantastic, and then we're going to be hopping on into your thorn section here next, so I will see you guys in just a bit. Hey Virgo, now we're going to hop on into your thorns. I do want to preface once again what thorns are. Those are going to be the lows of the year, but I do always like to mention that tarot is 100% avoidable. So even if we're seeing some low points coming into 2024, we're discussing them so that we can be aware of them and we can avoid them at all costs. So do keep in mind, just because we see these thorns come up doesn't necessarily mean they're going to happen. And if you find yourself kind of getting towards that path, note and acknowledge with the information you have now, you can avoid this type of path, okay? Either way, without further ado, Virgo, let's get into it and let's see what's showing up here in your thorn section, baby. Let's go ahead and take a look. What's going to be the first thorn coming in here for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout the year of 2024. What's going to be the first thorn coming up here for Team Virgo throughout the year of 2024? Let's go ahead and take a look. We have here an Ace of Cups paired with a Page of Wands. So that's your first thorn. Taking a look here at the next thorn for you. We have here the Six of Pentacles, and we have here the Death card. And taking a look here at the last and final thorn, Virgo, what's showing up? We have here the Nine of Pentacles, and we have here the Eight of Cups. So taking a look here at all this information. First things first, taking a look into your first thorn, Ace of Cups here to the Page of Wands. Don't give away what you love, and don't ignore and miss out on what you love for something that seems flashy, shiny, and new. This is kind of giving me the energy where you could be distracted away from the things you love for something coming in that's incredibly temporary. This could be the energy almost like maybe you have a really great partner, but somebody comes in and maybe they're very, very flirtatious and they're very attractive and seductive, but it's almost like don't, piss away a relationship that you really care for, that maybe you've been invested in for years, for somebody brand new who just started to show up in your life. Sure, maybe there's attraction, but that's something temporary. Don't piss away a business that you've owned for many years for this, crazy new opportunity to invest all your money in crypto, by the way, which is probably not the best idea. So the point here with this thorn says, if you have something good in front of you, cherish that. Don't let yourself get distracted with what looks shiny, what looks intriguing. Sure, you can let things pique your interest, but don't toss away the gem for pyrite, at the end of the day, right? Don't toss away the gold for pyrite, okay? So I feel like the point here, guys, coming into 2024 is if you have something great in front of you that you love, make sure that's your main focus. Don't let the other distractions come in and take you away from that. And also, if something comes in and it's very flashy and shiny, it doesn't always necessarily mean that it's going to be something wonderful, especially more wonderful than what you love and what you're truly connected to. So let's go ahead and expand on this. We're going to get our expansion sets coming in. So let's take a look here at your first expansion set for this very first thorn coming throughout 2024. What's going to be the first expansion set here for Virgo? We have here the Seven of Wands, and we have here the Three of Wands. Absolutely. Don't necessarily throw away everything that you have on the line for the unknown. You know, this is not the time to take heavy risk in 2024. You know, I keep seeing a situation where it's like maybe you have a really stable job, but somebody comes in and promises you this magnificent and amazing job and this magnificent and amazing opportunity. I'm also getting that feeling where it's like if you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be, if you don't have certainty, why bet and why gamble on uncertainty, you know? So really be careful, because situations like this can manifest coming into 2024. And of course, they can manifest across all areas of life, whether it be love, your friendships, whether it happen to be your business and work. You really want to avoid that type of situation, because you could be getting a lot of promises of someone or something giving you the world, giving you everything you've ever dreamed of and more, but it may just be that. A promise, but not necessarily fulfillment. It could be an empty promise at that. So I see empty promises kind of showing up here, and I think that you don't want to get distracted by it, okay? Stick to your roots, stick to what you love, stick to what you're incredibly connected to. I'm not saying that you can't explore different opportunities. That's not the case. You can, but explore them, especially when there's a level of certainty there. You want to avoid risk. You want to make sure risk in 2024 is at its most minimal point. The moment you start getting into high risk where there's lots of uncertainty, in jumping into situations, especially if you're walking away from something good, you could find yourself at a point where you lose what you love, you lose what was good, and you get nothing out of this new experience. So that's what I want you guys to avoid here overall. So you can see situations like this manifesting. Hopping on into your next expansion set, let's see what we have. What's going to be the next expansion set here for Virgo throughout 2024? First card out is going to be the Eight of Cups, and that's going to be paired here to the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, don't walk away from what works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that was probably the perfect way to sum it up here, but for some reason, that quote did not come to mind until now. So literally, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I really feel like that's going to be an incredibly important quote here for you in 2024, especially coming into this first thorn. So if you're in a good space with a lover, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't go out seeking out other people or getting distracted by a hunk, okay? Or getting distracted by a baddie at the end of the day, right? If you have a really great and stable job, you might want to avoid, you know, something that seems flashy and promising and amazing, because if you don't have that level of certainty and that guaranteed pay or whatever the case may be, you know, you could find yourself at a point where, you know, you ended up getting something worse when you had something amazing. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Really showing up here with this first thorn. Definitely watch out for this kind of energy, because I do see that there could be potential situations where you might seem really, really invested, but I think that, you know, this is nothing more than empty promises, and you don't want to walk away from what's really good here, okay? All right, Virgo, hopping on into your next thorn, guys. We have here the Six of Pentacles paired to the Death card. Six of Pentacles showed up here just before in your first thorn, and the Six of Pentacles is representative of stability. It's representative of balance. Now, I think what's happening here with the Death card is the Death card represents change and transformation. I think that right now you want to stick to what works, just like I mentioned in the first thorn. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's definitely showing up in the second thorn here too, but I think that ultimately here, when you're looking at this thorn at a core, it's about realizing if I am in a good flow, if I'm in a good balance, if things are working out for me, we don't always need to change the formula. Sometimes we may feel inspired to change the formula. Sometimes we may feel or think that we need to switch up what we're doing, but if it's working, why? You know, so pretty much a similar message here repeating for your second thorn. So at the end of the day, I'm sorry that there's a repetitive message here, but I think it's a super important message, I guess, if it's coming out twice. So you really want to be extra careful here, Virgo, this year of pretty much walking away from what's already working for you, because you could end up in a little bit more of a rough spot if you do. Now let's have a look here and see this expansion set. We have here a Two of Cups, and we also have here a Magician. Absolutely. If you've manifested something, created something that's wonderful, amazing, that you're incredibly connected with, hold on to it, hone on into it, and cherish it. Okay, this is the time right now to recognize you've built some pretty stable and good things in your life. I also feel like 2024 as a whole is kind of going to remind you about the good things you've built. You're really going to begin to see that. However, though, if you start to miss out on the things you've built, if you start to kind of ignore and look away from the stability and the wonderful things you've created, what's going to end up happening is you're going to fall into the trap of thinking that there's no fulfillment when there's tons of fulfillment in your life. And you're going to start to neglect the things that fulfill you, because you're going to be reaching out out for more. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you always need more than what you have. I think a lot of the times people don't understand abundance. They think that abundance is having everything under the sun and everything in the world. But the truth is abundance is when you're satisfied with what you have. A person can be abundant who makes $50,000 a year versus a person who makes 2.5 million. Okay? The person who makes 2.5 million may still feel like they're poor. However, though, the $50,000 a year worker may feel incredibly abundant, because at the end of the day, what's the difference? The person who makes 2.5 mil is probably paying $1 million in taxes. They're probably paying so much on their bougie ass car and their bougie ass house. But the person who makes the 50K a year probably has a much more lower debt. Maybe they're not paying off a crazy car. Maybe they bought a used car. Maybe they're not at a point in time where they are, owing so much on a house because they bought a house at a price that was reasonable. Maybe they're close to paying it off. So they're at a point in time where they can enjoy the means they have because they have more left over. So I think a lot of people sometimes look at abundance as, I need to have everything. But abundance is really just about feeling taken care of, right? It's about having enough for you to enjoy a life of sustainability. And I'm not even talking just financially. Many people can feel abundant because even if they don't have all the friends in the world, having one or two great friends that are there for you 24/7, of course you're going to feel abundance in friendships because you have good friendships in front of you, right? Same thing once again going with the 2.5 million versus the $50,000 a year person. Same thing as well, though, too, when it comes towards doing what you love. You may feel more abundant because you do what you love each and every single day versus a person who doesn't. So the point here is that I think that you want to be mindful this year of understanding what abundance truly is. Because you might fall into that trap of saying, well, I need more, I need more, I need more, and I need to grow, and I need to grow, and I need to grow. And you might miss out on the fact that you already have the abundance you were looking for this entire time. So you really want to be extra careful with that, because I see people fall in that trap way too often, and it starts to lead to paths of unsatisfaction continuously. When a person can't see the abundance that's in front of them, they're never going to be an abundant person. They're always going to be stuck in a cycle of continuous chasing for more, okay? And that's definitely not a fun path to be down, okay? All right, guys, let's get your next expansion set on this thorn. What's going to be the next expansion set here for Virgo throughout the year 2024? We have here the Four of Cups, and we also have here the Six of Wands. Okay. Six of Wands can be about what's grabbing your attention. I know Virgos, you're probably like, Ant, we already heard this. I know, but I have to tell you. Be careful of things that are grabbing your attention, because just because something grabs your attention doesn't mean it's inherently good. Think about ads, for example. How many times have you guys had or watched an ad, and even if it wasn't necessarily what you were interested in, suddenly it grabbed your attention and it was like, oh my God, it got me, And there are some ads out there that aren't super fantastic. And at the end of the day, maybe it has you craving something you don't want. Maybe you guys see a Coca-Cola ad and you've been quitting soda for a month, and then it's like, oh my God, I watched this Coca-Cola ad and now I want one. Okay? At the end of the day, just because something's grabbing your attention doesn't mean it's necessarily inherently good for you. So I'll end this thorn on that because I know these two were pretty similar. At the end of the day, just be careful in 2024. Just because something grabs your attention doesn't mean it's inherently good. Pay very close attention to what is grabbing your attention and whether or not its intentions are valuable to you and an asset. However, if they have no value to you, and if they are a situation that can put you in a rough spot, you want to avoid it at all costs. Okay, guys? All right, let's hop on into our final thorn, which is going to be the Nine of Pentacles here, paired to the Eight of Cups. I feel like there's a very big message coming through of don't think you have to do everything all on your own in 2024. Nine of Pentacles represents independence and individuality. Typically in the tarot, it's a person who feels like they are good on their own and they don't need anybody. And the truth is that, guys, at a core, we don't necessarily need anybody, but as humans, we are social creatures. And if we push people away, or if we walk away from people that could be valuable in our lives, that we care about, that we love, and that are there for us, we're putting more strain and more hard energy on ourselves when we don't necessarily have to. So in 2024, definitely come to the understanding that it's okay to have other people be there for you. Even if you just need a vent. Maybe this year, you need a vent to a friend very often and frequently. Cool, do it, right? That's what friends are for at the end of the day. Not necessarily saying friends are for trauma dumping, but if friends love and care for you, of course they want to be there for you. They want to know what's going on. They want to hear the 411, if you will. If you have people in your life who can aid you, maybe you're going through a struggle or something difficult this year, don't be afraid of calling them. Remember, as much as you love others and as much as you want to help others, there are also people in your life batting for you in that same exact way. So I think the number one thing you want to avoid here too with this third thorn is thinking that you have to do everything all on your own, because you do not have to when there are people in your life who are ready to help. Okay, let's get on into your expansion sets here, guys. All right, what's going to be the first expansion set here for this third thorn for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the year of 2024. Taking a look here at this first expansion set, we have here the Two of Wands, and we have here the Tower. Two of Wands here is representative of feeling stuck, and the Tower card is representative of awareness, kind of having a breakthrough, having a massive realization. So I think right now, the one thing you have to realize is that you don't necessarily have to bear the weight of the world, right? The globe in this woman's hands. You don't have to bear the weight of the world all by your lonesome. There are people in your life who are willing to carry that weight with you and help you to the finish line. So I think that one of the things you got to realize and become aware about the most here coming into 2024, Virgo, is that you don't have to do everything on your own. People are willing to be there for you. They're willing to aid you and assist you. You don't have to bear the weight of the world on your own, especially if at one point or another in 2024, things get relatively rough. Having a look here at your next expansion set, what do we got? We got here the Eight of Swords, and we have here the Fool card. Yeah, you are in a position, I think, this year where you're saying to yourself, well, even if I'm stuck inside my head, even if I have a lot going on up here, I'll just take care of it myself, right? I'll just do what I can to move on and do what I can to let it go. But at the end of the day, as much as venting to yourself can be powerful, and as much as releasing your own energy can be powerful, it can also be incredibly empowering speaking about your problems, speaking about what you're going through. Having someone to be there for you is powerful. And that level of release is just as powerful as anything else. So I really want to urge Virgos this year, don't think you have to go through your journey all alone, okay? I'm not sure what you may end up experiencing. Could be anything. But there might be a bit of a rough point in 2024, and I think everybody gets a rough point at least once a year, you know? So when you find yourself at that point, if you get there, just know that other people want to be there for you. You have people in your life who love you, Virgo. You're so deeply fucking loved, okay? So there are individuals at the ready here to lift you up, to be there for you. The last thing you want to do is hold everything inside and bury your feelings and emotions and stay stuck inside your head. That's never going to help you. And if you feel like you're trying to overcome something that you just can't do on your own, know that it's okay to ask for help, okay? Point blank period, all right? All right, guys, those were your thorns here for 2024. Honestly, not too bad. I mean, we got two kind of like repetitive thorns showing up here. Overall, though, I think that looking at all the thorns across the board, the point is this year, I feel like you're being told to focus on what you appreciate. Focus on what is good for you, right? And don't focus on anything else that can distract you from the good stuff. And ultimately here too, note and acknowledge you have people at the ready in your life who are willing to be there for you. Don't bear the weight of the world all on your own shoulders when other people can help you carry that weight. It doesn't mean they necessarily have to take on that weight as their own, but they can help you and they can hold your hand and they can carry that weight to the finish line because they're willing to work through things with you together. All right, guys? So just note and acknowledge that, number one, what you want to avoid doing everything all by your lonesome, and you massively want to avoid if something ain't broke, do not fix it, okay? At the end of the day, if something's working well, let it work well for you. All right, guys? All right, everybody. That is what I do have here for your thorn section. Very pretty much very quick, simple, and to the point. Not too many crazy or intense messages. Now, we're going to be hopping on into our next section, Virgo, and this next section is going to be what you need to do this year in 2024 to become your best self. So this is how you're going to become your greatest version. We'll take a look here at some things to focus on or what you can tweak. So let's take a look into it and see what comes up, okay? Now, what does Team Virgo have to do here in the year of 2024 to be their greatest version? Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the year of 2024. What do they have to do to become their greatest version? Let's go ahead and take a look. We got a few cards coming out. We have an Ace of Cups. We have here a Three of Cups. We have here a Six of Wands, and we have here a Magician. If you want to become your greatest version, first and foremost, self-love is always going to be key, okay? So Ace of Cups coming in here is representative of self-love. We also have here the Three of Cups, which is representative of enjoyment. So if you want to be your best self, you have to be willing to be in much more of a light-hearted energy. You need to learn to enjoy yourself more, definitely tap more into the energy of self-love, but also take a look at where your focus is. The Magician card represents manifestation and the Six of Wands represents success. Really, if you want to be your greatest version, celebrate all the mini successes along the way to becoming that version of yourself. For example, Let's say if you imagine for a moment, the greatest version of you has a specific kind of job, or the greatest version of you is a certain type of person who preaches and practices kindness each and every single day. Like every time you work towards a step of becoming this greatest version, appreciate the success no matter how major or how little it may be. Because by constantly cheering for yourself, full force as much as you can, being your best cheerleader is what's going to get you there to being your greatest version too. So the more you can continuously support yourself, guys, the more you're going to make it into that transition a heck of a lot easier. At the end of the day, guys, whatever your greatest version is to you, however you see yourself being your best self is going to be so different for everybody. But what you can do to make that process easier is definitely going to be invoking self-love. It's definitely going to be about letting loose and enjoying yourself more and being a little bit more lighthearted. But the real kicker here is going to be the Six of Wands here to the Magician, which these two cards here are representative of. I need to pay attention to my success and I need to celebrate my victories, even if they're not big. Because small victories and small steps can still equal, it could still equal incredibly massive wins at the end of the day here too, right? Everything adds up. No matter how small or minuscule, it's inevitably going to add up for you. So I think that this is definitely some important stuff to do if you want to be your greatest version this year. Let's go ahead and get maybe 2 more cards, and then we'll close out this video here with an overall outcome, okay? So let's get 2 more cards on what Virgo needs to do to be their greatest version in 2024. We have here another 3 of Cups coming out. So if you're wondering why there's duplicates, there are duplicates in this tarot deck. And let's get 1 more card showing up Team Virgo, and we have here the Tower. Absolutely. Tower card's interesting because the Tower card represents change. I think if you want to become your greatest version, you also have to be willing to let go of who you are now and know that it's okay to do so. If there is a better version of yourself, you want to be better, you don't want to be the same. I think a lot of people sometimes, especially I've noticed this in like my personal life with friends and colleagues and stuff, I'd notice that they would tell me, you know, Aunt, I want to be a better version of myself this year, but they would still do the same thing. You know, similar or repetitive behaviors are going to give you repetitive results. If you're doing the same shit different day, you're going to have the same day over and over and over again, right? So the Tower here says you have to be willing to change it up. If you want results to change, you have to change. And in order to become that greatest version, you have to be willing to embody exactly what that greatest version carries. For example, if the greatest version of yourself is more of a kinder person, you have to embody kindness. If the greatest version of yourself is a person who makes a lot of money, it's time to tap into the energy of making a lot of money. It's time to, look towards getting better jobs and figuring it out, and putting in that work to create a better income. So at the end of the day, if we want to be our greatest versions here, we have to solely focus on change. And when it comes to change, you have to embrace it too. If we are the same old person as yesterday, we're not going to be our greatest version. If we're not striving to do better, then we're going to be where we are. So definitely something to think about here for sure. Okay. All right, Virgo, let's get on into your overall outcome here, and then we will close out this reading. Okay. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the year of 2024? Let's go ahead and take a look. For the overall outcome, we actually got 2 cards coming out, which we've seen earlier. We have here a 4 of Cups, and we have here a 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that this year, what you're definitely going to start and begin to notice is that you're going to be at a point where there's a lot you are realizing you need to let go of and you need to ignore. I think you're going to start to see there's a lot of things in life where I had my focus, but that was taking up too much of my focus. Maybe you were focused on things that negatively impacted you, or focused on situations that distracted you from your goals and from your path. But this year, 6 of Pentacles says, I'm focusing on everything that I need that's going to be working and serving in my highest good. In 2024, 6 of Pentacles, I'm only giving my energy to what is going to give me back some great energy too. So if I am a person who acknowledges what I put out there is what I get back, I'm going to make sure I'm putting out the best energy to see the best energy come back to me in return. Equal give and take in 2024 is definitely going to take precedent, and you're going to notice just how well it works out for you. I think that, if you once recognized in your past, Virgo, that you tended to overextend your energy very frequently, or if you've noticed that at the end of the day, you've had many moments where you've kind of missed out on doing the things you wanted for yourself that you deserved, this is going to be the year where you're a priority. Your happiness is a priority, your health is a priority, your best life is a priority, and you're making sure that you get there. But how are you going to get there? It's all going to be determined based upon your investments. So no more investments, 4 of Cups, into the crap that doesn't matter. It's time for heavy investments into the good stuff if I want to live the good life. Okay, hell yeah, Team Virgo. With that all being said, guys, thank you for tuning in here to your 2024 yearly tarot reading. I know these videos are incredibly long, so if you made it to the end, you're a real one, and I appreciate you. Do want to mention, if you're new here, if you're a new Virgo, come on down and subscribe. I'd be happy to have you and welcome you here into the Soul family. So if you're new, consider subscribing. Of course, guys, if you want personal readings, that's going to be the first link in the description below at CancerMoonsTarot.com. Feel free to book me if you'd like a read. But yeah. Wishing you all a really wonderful rest of your 2024. And yeah, take care, guys. Have yourselves a good one. Have an amazing year here. I think it's going to be quite wonderful. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Much love and have yourselves a good one. Peace.